Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss unit number 5, strategic evaluation of 6th semester BBA, Bangalore University. Session number 50, process of strategic control. Before going to discuss the process of strategic control, let us just have the recap of what we have discussed in the last class. In the last class, we had a discussion on the meaning and definition of strategic evaluation and strategic control. Now let us move on to the process of strategic control. I am Mujib Khan, Assistant Professor, Government First Grade College, Kanakapura. Let us see the process or step by step formulation of strategic control or evaluation. What are the various steps involved in strategic control or evaluation? Let us discuss one by one. First one is setting the performance standards. Setting performance standards is the first step in strategic evaluation and strategic control. See, every function in the organization begins with plans, which specifies objectives or targets to be achieved. Setting performance standards means setting the performance to be achieved. It could be profit, it could be production, it could be sales, it could be hiring of human resources, it could be of acquisition of an asset, it could be of producing a new type of product or adding a new type of product into the new existing product line, expanding the business or merging with some other company. There are so many performance standards. So just these performance standards need to be set. In the process of control or evaluation, first you have to set what is to be performed. Then only we can have proper control. If we do not set the performance standards, if we do not set the performance standards in terms of quantity, in terms of quality, in terms of unit, in terms of production, in terms of sales, in terms of profits, okay, we cannot perform in future. So it is futuristic approach. It is basically the strategic control is a futuristic approach. Therefore, first it set the standards, then it keep on checking about the performances of the organizational units, whether they are performing as per the set standard or not. So this is the first step in strategic control. See, after setting the standards, it is important to decide about the level of achievement, desirable level. The level could be maximum or minimum. You can just state them in terms of the range, whether you are achieving it at the maximum level or you are achieving at the minimum level. Sales at the maximum level, sales at the minimum level, profits at the maximum level, profits at the minimum level. So human resources at the maximum level, human resources at the minimum level, acquisition of materials, acquisition of machines. So all these things can be the performance standards that you are going to fix in an organization. These are all very small examples that we have to, with these examples we need to understand the process of control. Otherwise we cannot understand this. So setting performance standard means setting the goals about our performance to be done in future, for another 1 year, for another 6 months, for another 3 months. So quarterly, half yearly or yearly. Some people set the performance standards on daily basis. For example, if you go and see the garment factories, they keep the performance standards daily and they measure actual performance with what is the standard that they have set. So one piece of cloth, two piece of cloth, or else you can take the example of the watchman making company, take the example of sugar manufacturing company, take the example of mobile manufacturing company. some take into account in kgs, kilograms, tons, some take into account units, some take into we have to take into account in terms of weight, some in terms of units, some in terms of what is called as quantity. See, setting the standards is not only setting the performance standard in terms of quantity, but also fixing the quality standards as well, setting both quantitative as well as qualitative standards here. Then see, for setting standards for control purposes, it is important to identify clearly and precisely the results which are desired. Precision in the statement of these standards is important. You see, the results desired are different and you are setting the performance is different, means it will not match, it mismatches. So if it is to increase the sales because of festival season, or if it is increase the production because it is COVID-19 season, the production of COVID-19 medical materials, what is the standard that you are going to fix? Precision should be there. And what is the objective? Ultimately, you have to accomplish the organizational objective. Next, the second step is measuring actual performance. You have set, okay, take the example of sales or production. You have set the performance standard that by the end of this month we have to produce this much of quantities, we have to sell this much of quantities for production and sales. You have set the performance standard. Now after the completion of 1 month, you will be measuring the actual performance. You will be measuring the actual performance. So what is established and what is actually done. So after setting the performance, you distribute the work to those people who are responsible for doing that work. Immediately after a specific period of time, you try to judge what is the actual work done. It is a major step in the control process. The presence of standard implies corresponding ability to observe and comprehend the nature of existing conditions and to ascertain the degree of control. See, the measurement of performance against the standards should be a continuous basis. It is not that once you have established the standard and once you have done that and you found out some variations and then you leave it. No, it is not like that. If variations are found out, ask the particular department, particular person, particular unit to complete it, again giving some time to get the work done. Then again continuously measuring the actual performances. So till the time you you appraise the actual with the expected performance, you will come to know the variations. So measure what is given and what is actually performed. You have given sales of 1 metric ton. So it is half metric ton done. Then again you have to give some time to them, complete remaining half of that. So within this period of time, then again comparing. It is continuous process. Measuring actual performance is continuous process. Then the third step is comparing standards with actual performance or strategy. First one is measuring, then here is comparing. The second one is measuring, here third one is comparing. Now you have to compare. I have given 1 metric ton, okay. So in the while giving the example of measuring actual performance, I think I missed it. I instead of telling that example here, I gave that example there. Just you have to limit that example the actual performance is actually set there to perform for 1 metric ton. The actual performance that you have got from them is half metric ton. You have to just keep that example till there only. Now you can extend that example to point number 3, comparing standards with actual. Now the standard is 1 metric ton, actual done is half metric ton. When you compare, you will come to know that half metric ton is not done. So half metric ton is not done. So the third step in the control process is the comparison of actual and standard performance. It involves 2 steps. It involves 2 steps. What are those 2 steps? First step is find out the extent of variation. Then the second step is identify the causes of such variation. You have to find out what is the extent, what is the quantity, what is the limit of variation, and what could be the probable reasons for such variations. You have to find out, ascertain the cause of variations along with the computation of variation. Why it is required? It is required to analyze variations. So you find out that what are the you compare what is actually the variation and what is the reason for variation. So the same example can be extended here, that actually given is 1 metric ton, done is half metric ton, variation is half metric ton. The reason could be labor attrition, labor absenteeism, power cut downs, power shutdowns, strikes, lockouts, then lockdowns. The reason could be anything. You will find out the reasons for this. Variation is come. No, there is no doubt about it. But what are the reasons? The reasons could be anything. It could be machinery bottlenecks. It could be lockdowns. It could be power shutdowns. It could be labor absenteeism. It could be labor attrition. Or it could be non-availability of raw materials. The reasons could be anything for that matter. Now after comparing these standards with the actual performance, you will come to know the variation. Now see what is the fourth step says. Analyzing variance. See here you analyze the extent of variation. When the variation between standards and actual performance is beyond the prescribed limit, an analysis is made of the causes of such variation. For controlling and planning purpose, ascertaining the causes of variation along with computation of variation is important, because such analysis helps the management in proper decision making, proper actions that are going to be taken, proper measures that are going to be taken. So here you set the standard for 1 metric ton, half metric ton is done, half metric ton is not done. You analyze the variance. While analyzing the variance, what will you do? You not only analyze the difference but also you analyze the causes, and after analyzing the causes you are going to provide the suggestions for corrective measures. What are those corrective measures? Taking corrective actions. So wherever mistakes have been done, let us find out what are the actions that we can take. See, you came to know that half metric ton is not done after analyzing the variance. Then what best you can do? How you can correct it? That is the last step, taking corrective actions. Improvement in the performance by taking suitable actions. If the performance is not up to the mark, improve the performance, suggest the workers to improve the performance, or change the objective, abort the strategy, change the strategy, skip the strategy if it is too high or it is too unrealistic. Sometimes people keep too high or too unrealistic objectives that we cannot reach that goal. If the case is so here, change it, or you can skip it, delete it. See, if an organization come to know that its product has become obsolete, its product has become old one, and it came to know only when it has analyzed the variance, then what an organization can do, either if the product is costing more cost, if the for the production of the product the organization is incurring more cost, the revenue generation is very less, marginal cost is more per unit, then what best the organization can do, either they can, before launching the product or before engineering the product, before producing that product, either change the attributes of the product or re-engineer it, or you can delete that from the product lines, or you can delete that product itself. So the corrective actions involve these two important things. First is improvising the performance. Second thing is, if it is too high or unrealistic, change it or alter it or delete it. These are the various ways through which you can take corrective actions. See, the process of strategic control involves strategic evaluation involves 5 important steps. First step is setting performance standards. Second step is measuring the actual performance. Third step is comparing standards with actual performance strategy. Then the fourth step is analyzing variance. Fifth step is taking corrective actions. Dear students, you can take the example of that 1 metric ton as the first point. Second point is half metric ton done. Third point is half is not done. Fourth point is why half is not done. You have to analyze the reasons. Then fifth point is, after knowing the reasons in the fourth point, taking corrective actions for rest of the half to be done. So this is the basic steps that are involved in strategic evaluation and control process. Dear students, at the end of this session I have given you the study material and multiple choice questions. Try to solve these questions, and if you are not able to understand it, you can call me, and you can free to call me and clarify with me. So next session we are going to discuss next topic, that is types of strategic control. Okay, so till then you try to collect more information about this topic from online and offline sources. Try to incorporate those materials into your study materials, and see to it that you gain more knowledge out of this, and we will meet again in the next class. Thank you very much. Stay home, stay safe, take care. Bye bye.